What's going on, my people? Welcome back to another episode of The Stress Continues, the show where we talk about how stress evolves and how to way to fix it. I'm your host, Thomas Island. I will be going through this. I'll be discussing this with you so that we can go through this together. So let's get started. All right. Before we start, though, want to give a big, huge shout out. I want to give a huge shout out to one of my friends on Instagram. Um, my friend in real life. Uh, Her name is Melon. Um, for the past, I would say two 2 years, I think. She has been a really, really, really huge high point in my life. Um, she has given me hope. Um, she's giving me a lot of things to be happy, to be grateful for throughout the course of this year. And I couldn't be here without her. So um, if you happen to stumble across this video, deeply I deeply deeply thank you for just getting me out of that bad situation, because there was one day where I just didn't want to do it anymore. I just wanted to quit. So I'm 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 very proud. I'm very proud of what you're doing now. I'm proud of you just giving you happiness to all of us, and just giving me happiness as well, just giving me hope. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate it. Um, I'm gonna give. I'm like, I'm still gonna say the same thing on my Instagram right after this video is over. Um, you know, it's been a long ride, and I'm glad I can be on this. I'm glad you can be on this long ride with me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Anyway, so this episode is about failure. Now, we talked about failure last season, but I want to put some feet to it, so to speak. In other words, I want to talk about, the evolution of failure, so to speak. The evolution of failure is something that we don't want to deal with. Like, stress can get stronger each time you fail one thing, and like, every single person has this little formula in which. Sorry, there's a conversation downstairs. Sorry for the background noise. Anyways, I I'm always in this I'm always in this position where anything can happen. You know, today was an easy day. Like, no doubt, it was no stress on me whatsoever. But one thing that really bothers me is is the stress keeps building up. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that we all know as humans is that stress is a bad thing. It is not. It's not the thing. It's not what you want as a human, and it's not a thing that you. It's not a thing that you want in life. You don't want to be awarded for your highest stress level being increasing up to over 100. Like, that's not a good thing. So to to discussing what the to discussing what that means. Basically, what I'm saying is that you have, in fact, all of us have this fight in us, that we have to get out of this bad situation before things get worse. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not every day that we have to go through a lot of things moving forward. Like me, for example, when I started college, I was nervous. I was nervous of the fact that I was going to fail a lot, and I was going to get a whole bunch of pressure. But like it, well, I'm still getting pressure, but I'm getting used to it. I'm getting used to all the things that are going around me, and I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm telling you the story. I mean, like it's survival. It's survival of the fittest at this point. Like it's like the gauntlet. I told you guys about the gauntlet in my Instagram in my Instagram story. Like put this into a full length chapter thing, that chapter type story. I told you about this, and it's a gauntlet. School's like a gauntlet. It's like a gauntlet full of, what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen, what's about to happen, and how are you gonna have an answer? Like, what are you gonna do? So the thing is, with all the circumstances, with all the things going around this world, it's kind of hard to function properly. Um, it's hard for me to be happy. Like I'm happy because I'm gonna have a day off tomorrow, and then I'm gonna be back to work. I'm gonna be back to work the next day. I mean, I have no problem with that, but it's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder and harder for me to adapt. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where it's something that we all go through as kids, as young adults. But we're all in this together. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm different than all of you. Let's get that straight. We're all different. We're all different. And we have different goals in life. We have things we have different things that we have to fight for. Like we have to fight for our lives. We have to fight for, you know, getting jobs. We have to fight for ordinarily everything. But like I said last time, it's not really the case because the pandemic is really it's really hitting home. Like it's killing us, man. Like we're in quarantine and we are obviously and we're obviously in a point where things might happen. I mean, things anything can happen. I mean, we might have a vaccine, we might not. I mean, we're still going to be staying in this, weird thingamabobber, and like we're in this little bubble where we have to be 6 feet apart. I mean, I'm not complaining about the pandemic or anything. It's just that it's hard for us to get stuff done. And I'm not saying I'm talking about whenever things go wrong, you know, before all this pandemic started, before the coronavirus hit, we had something planned. We always had something planned. But now we don't have something planned because, you know, everything is different. Like this is the new normal. Like either you wear a mask or you stay home. I mean, that's your choice. You have the choice. It's either you wear a mask or you stay home. I mean, I wouldn't stay home even if I wanted to. But I'm still wearing a mask. I'm still staying 6 feet apart, and I'm still doing what I do best. I throw the football a lot. I walk around the environment, and I just think to myself, man, when will this stop? To be honest, I really don't know. And you can say that in 2021 things might be back to normal. I don't think that's gonna happen. Why? Because I don't know. It's something that we don't. It's something that I don't like. It's something that has a mind of its own, and it's not much of a. It's not much to think about. Like you have something, but overall, it's gonna be harder and harder to manage. It's gonna be harder and harder to manage on your own. So That's it. That's my take on the evolution of failure. It happens to all of us. It happens to teachers. It happens to us, the students. Hell, it happens to the parents that gave birth to you. They're having this problem, and they have no choice but to do it by themselves. Well, not technically by themselves, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I think that I think that we need to like stand together. Like obviously, this might take a while for us to be back to normal. I don't know. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys learned something. So I'll see you guys next time.